you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is your projects, visions, dreams of amazing things that would create a better world for all of us, brighter future. So it should be a lot of fun because I know a lot of you have wonderful initiatives that you're working on or that you're envisioning or dreaming about, and it would be awesome to share that. So before we get started, let's just take a minute or two to settle in and get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen just flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing every cell, every organ, bringing vital life energy into your entire body and being. And as you exhale any stress, any tension, fatigue, negativity. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, electrifying, energizing, illuminating all your electrons, all your molecules, all your cells from the inside out, so that you beam this wonderful energy out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining fatigue, negativity, stress, tension, toxicity. And now let's just gently press our palms together. Really softly, softly, softly. Rub your fingers against your palms, being present to all the wonderful sensation in your fingertips, in your palms, and in your body. So bring yourselves present right here, right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. It's Friday. Good morning, Rosalind and Robert and everybody else who's joining us. It's great to be here with you today. Good morning, Suzanne. Today we get to talk about vision and mission and purpose and the projects that we're doing in the world, the initiatives that we're up to, the things we dream about doing, and let's see if we can gain some momentum around those things. So yesterday, a couple of you were sharing some projects that you're up to and really big vision things. And maybe we can talk about what some of the stumbling blocks could be and how maybe we can overcome those stumbling blocks. So I know you shared yesterday, but maybe you'll share again today so that folks who didn't get the benefit of yesterday's conversation can be here to enjoy the wonder of what you're up to. And welcome, Christina. Great to have you back. So you guys are visionaries. I think that so many of us are, and we have visions for creating a better future and a brighter future. And I'm wondering if you would like to share what you're up to. So I am going to share something in the chat in just a second. I'm just getting the link. I should be able to share it in the chat. And this is an initiative to save family farms by having Farm Aid concentrate some attention on industrial hemp. So I'm putting it in the chat with the hopes that you guys will go and sign the petition. It would be awesome because this is Farm Aid's an amazing organization that has raised millions and millions and millions of dollars for the farmers to support small family farms over the years. And there's more and more coming to light about the importance of farming and not just farming, but regenerative farming to regenerate the soil for the climate and for the health of the planet. And hemp is a crop that promises to be able to really be instrumental in that initiative to regreen our soils where there are deserts, etc. That through regenerative farming and wonderful plants and practices, we can shift the whole climate. So please go and sign that petition. That would be wonderful. And Christina says, Farm Aid is such a good organization. How we farm is so important. Absolutely, 100%. And industrial hemp promises to be the next actual rotational crop that can be introduced to the mainstream of farming and help to move farmers out of debt and despair, and to also support the soil, plus the products that can be created from industrial hemp, uh, run the gamut from food to energy to housing. And there are tens of thousands of uses for this plant. So that's an initiative that I'm involved in right now, and would so appreciate your support. And I know now I kicked it off. Who's next? You guys have amazing things going on, and you talked a little bit about some of them yesterday. And I'm wondering if we can dig in a little bit more deeply and find out how you are moving from inspiration to action, and how we actually can bring our visions to fruition, how we can uh, make vision a reality. So I think that this is a really, really wonderful, wonderful topic. Good morning, Isabel, and good morning, Irma. Great to have you guys here. We're talking about visions, the visions of things that we envision in the world, and that we would like to manifest, to make manifest in the world, to make this a brighter place. And maybe these visions and these missions, these things that call our heart, are things that call us forward into life and vitality. You know, having a sense of purpose really, really changes the whole context for living. And when we have these big visions and missions, whatever, they draw us forward. They draw us higher. They call us to evolve into our higher and higher expression. So I think this is really, really exciting to have you guys share what you're up to. Rosalind says, writing your actions down are more likely to produce results. So yes, I think when first we start with a vision, you know, like a dream, and then the process might be to start mitigating it and to start saying, well, I have all these excuses and reasons why I can't possibly do that. Who am I to imagine that I could create this thing? So just something as simple as this initiative with Farm Aid. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about how it happened. You guys know I have a podcast called Sustainability Now with my business partner, Scott Billy, and we've been doing this for like 3 years. And where it came from was a bigger vision that I have for an eco park, which I've spoken about before. But the idea was to be able to make connections and learn about technologies that we could that we could put in this eco park as demonstration sort of things. So I'll segue back around to this, but I do want to say what happened with this hemp project, industrial hemp, is that we made acquaintance with a man named Michael Henning, who has become a good friend, who made the movie Hempsters Plant the Seed 10 years ago, that really kind of kicked off the legalization of industrial hemp, and or the movement for specifically for the legalization of industrial hemp. And 10 years now, it is now legal in all, it is now federally legal and legal in all, I believe, in all 50 states, industrial hemp. So what the issue is that still people are confusing industrial hemp with marijuana. And there are still debates around marijuana, but industrial hemp is a related but different animal, and has, as I said, tens of thousands of uses. So we, Michael Henning wants to do a second movie called Hamsters Reap the Harvest. And Farm Aid has not yet advocated for industrial hemp because of the confusion with marijuana. So we figured it's time for that to happen. And so if you guys look in the chat, in the comments, you should be able to see the link to the campaign. And I would be so, so, so grateful if you would share that petition far and wide, so that we can get thousands of signatures on it, so that Farm Aid will give industrial hemp its due, and thereby really give great assistance to the farmers that are looking for additional solutions. So I'll get off my soapbox around that. Robert says, thank you so much for chiming in with your project, Robert. So the project is called The Healer. And Robert says, it's my biggest project. It will be the biggest healing center in the world, having every possible alternative and complementary healing technique while being self-sustaining. Wow, you know, I so appreciate you speaking it again, Robert. This is brilliant. And there are so many healing modalities and technologies around the world that have results that have not been embraced by the mainstream, and in some cases are censored. And I think that what a brilliant, amazing vision, Robert. I love it. Good morning, Tammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Robert says the first step for Project The Healer has been taken last year in the form of a company named The Healer Ltd. Limited. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my gosh. And so I wonder, you know, there are so many different healing centers around the world that are, you know, in the US, we're not very supportive of a lot of alternative modalities. And a lot of people, for instance, who have I'm going to say technology or methodologies to cure cancer, can be people that say they claim they can cure cancer can go to jail for saying that. And it's craziness, because there are many modalities that have incredible results, where people go into remission and heal themselves of their dis-ease. So I'm wondering, where I think you said this was in the UK, Robert, is that where you started the project? I'm wondering if that's true, and where what the laws are to support that. Because here in the US, there's such a deep entrenchment of the AMA and pharmaceutical companies that sometimes we find ourselves really battling with intense censorship. I've seen it happening right now around alternative treatments for COVID. And I'm curious what you're doing, how you're navigating that, Robert. So Robert says that my vision for that is that one individual enters the facility with any dis-ease and comes out completely healed. What an amazing, wonderful vision. And there are institutes all over the world that have their own modality where they usher people through their programs and get remarkable results. I think it sounds like such a fascinating thing. I have the vision of the eco park, and the eco park is sustainability from top to bottom, and all the different modalities that and technologies that support a thriving future on the planet and sustainable systems. And it sounds like your vision, Robert, is kind of the same idea, where all of this is in one place, where but with healing. So it's almost like a World's Fair of healing, but also you actually can go and be healed. I love the vision. I just love the vision. And Robert says, for the moment, I started it as a retail company and education. And I wonder what the retail products are. I know that there are tons and tons of healing products out there that you might be marketing. I'm just curious what you're focusing on. And Christina's project, wonderful Christina, says a local scholarship is well underway. We are fundraising and will be reading essays soon for consideration of recipients. Then will be some fundraising for purchasing a piece of universal all access playground equipment in our local playground plans. Next, we'll be finishing a workshop for caregivers that I would like to keep free. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Christina, this is amazing. So, so Robert, you're selling crystals, and at the moment, Robert is in Romania, so it's not producing anything. But when I will be able to get back, I'll look into it more. Beautiful, beautiful. So you guys that are sharing these incredible visions, maybe you can share about the evolution of that vision and how you actually stepped into ownership of that vision to say, it's not just a dream. I'm going to take hold of this and I'm going to have it happen. So Robert says, what else could I have chosen other than crystals? Of course, that makes perfect sense, Robert. Absolutely, it would have to be crystals. So I can tell you that when I came up, and Harihi Om Tat Sat, welcome, great to have you here. I hope I didn't totally destroy your name. And I haven't seen you here before. It's great to have you with us. So moving from the place of vision into action is a really big step. Actually, even before moving into action, moving into ownership. So for me, when I came up with the idea of the eco park, it was kind of like a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea that I had a lot of juice around that got me excited. And then I thought, yeah, but what a great idea. It would be great if somebody would do that. And it took a while, and really, truly a deliberate act of courage, like overcoming my ideas about my own limitations, my ideas about my unworthiness, my ideas about, like, who am I to be able to do this? And then finally just saying, well, And there was also, as I tapped into it, I noticed that there was fear. There's fear of failure. There's fear of dying in the process. Like, this could kill me. And like, I realized, and I've shared this before, that for me, I had a moment where I actually connected with, this is worth dying for. This is something worth dying for. And that was coming in response to the fear of, this could kill me, or I could get killed in the process. And then realizing it was worth living for. And that was a huge thing, because as I've shared with you, there have been times in my life where I really wasn't sure that I wanted to be here. And, I spent a good portion of my life thinking about suicide, and finally at one point deciding that I'd had enough. And that now, with this vision and this purpose, it's worth living for. And that's a really profound shift of experience. So Robert says, well, my vision started about 15 years ago, but I just didn't take action until last year. Procrastination. So I would venture to say that it's probably more than procrastination. I mean, maybe what is behind procrastination? What is the underlying mechanism of procrastination that keeps us from doing the things that we envision for ourselves? I think there is fear there. It may be a sense of fear, a sense of overwhelm. I don't know how. Who am I? On and on, that can keep us in this loop of just talk. And I'm wondering what we can source today to move from talk into action, to move from vision into ownership, and then really aligning ourselves with our sense of mission. And Isabel says, well, I have not conditions to pursue my dreams. My work takes all my time and it doesn't help me get there. I hear you, Isabel. And so I think that maybe if you get jazzed, if you have this vision, I think that you're confronting a situation that so many of us experience, is that our lives are so full with just trying to keep up with our lives. Our lives are so full with the things that we get to do on a daily basis. And there's such a sense of maybe even overwhelmed, just trying to keep up with the hamster wheel. And I think in some respect, there's nothing more important than our dreams. Now, obviously, we have to find a way to survive, right? We need to take care, we need to put food on our table, we need to put a roof over our heads. And I think, Isabel, the first step is to make a commitment to the dream. I think the first step is to make a commitment to the dream in your heart and soul, and find yourself aligned with it, totally aligned with it, and taking ownership of it. Like saying, this is it, I'm doing this. And I believe that when that happens, there will be openings that are unanticipated. So I believe that when we are aligned with our vision and our mission and our purpose, that the universe conspires to support us in the fulfillment of those visions, like of that passion. When we have that clear passion, there are openings that occur that we never would have anticipated. And so Robert says, well, one reason was the lack of the mentality when living in Romania. So, was the lack mentality living in Romania. So if I'm understanding what you're saying, once I got to the UK, I have shifted that lack mentality. Okay, so you had lack mentality. I get you. And so we often feel at the effect of our circumstances. Isabel says, I've gotten trapped by life circumstances. And so, Isabel, I think the first place to find freedom, it's interesting, we've spoken about that, I think this week, is freedom's an inside job. And so even with work, there are times, we can still find time to nourish and nurture our dreams and our visions, and even just imagining, putting the energy into fleshing out our ideas, or it doesn't have to be creating the physical circumstance yet. It can be in your mind. It can be creating the vision, like really truly owning it and fleshing it out. And what I know is that life conspires, the universe conspires to support your visions and your dreams when you are in full ownership and in alignment with those dreams. And Robert says, being back in Romania now, it's hard to keep that abundance mentality. Well, Robert, no wonder you are such a wonderfully involved uh, member of the Enlightened World Network community, right? Because there's lots of reminders and support for an abundance mentality. And so I know what it is to feel like you're on a treadmill and can't get off. And at the same time, we get to, when we empower our visions and our dreams, like with conviction, with, yeah, this is happening. This is happening. I don't know how. I'm creating the space of possibility. I am the space of possibility for this thing to manifest. Then miracles happen. Miracles happen because we are creating the space. We're invoking and calling forth those miracles. And I've seen it over and over and over again. And the veil is thinner and thinner so that our intentions and our visions and our desires are more accessible to us now, I think, than ever before. And with the clarity of mind and spirit, and emotion, when we have this alignment and ownership, miracles happen. It may not happen in the timeline that you want. I envisioned this eco park, like breaking ground several years back. But had that happened, it wouldn't be what it is going to be, what it has already become in concept. It's gotten clearer and clearer and richer and richer. And now I'm ready to be formalizing it even more. So Robert says, another thing that kept me from starting was I'm not good enough, or who am I to do that? Exactly, Robert. Thank you. I think that this is really, really very much a key to so much of our dreams staying dreams and not being made manifest, because we have a sense of, like with the eco park, I had no idea. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about sustainability. All I knew was that every time I thought about what we were doing to the planet, it broke my heart. And that there needed to be a solution. And for me, I believe education is the foundation. So the eco park is ultimately an inspired and inspiring educational opportunity, adventure. And I believe that when people know that there's a better way, and they they have awareness, that they will make better choices. And maybe that's an idealistic belief, but that's what I believe. Welcome, welcome, Elaine. So Robert says, but I'm sorry. So Isabel says, you are so right. For many years, I have been dead inside and stopped dreaming about my dreams. But lately, I'm coming back and can have dreams again. And it felt so good, that to have same dreams back. Absolutely, absolutely, Isabel. It's our dreams that give us life. And especially when we allow ourselves to dream our dreams, dream the world into being. And Robert says, but now I know who I am, and I have taken ownership of my dream. Yes, exactly. Congratulations. And I'll tell you what, the moment that I took ownership of my eco park dream, I stepped into a whole new dimension and catapulted my growth exponentially, because I needed to evolve to be able to hold the space for that vision. And and there have been many unexpected side projects and benefits that have arisen as a result of my taking ownership of that dream. And not the least of which is sustainability. Now, the podcast and the platform every Thursday night. We have a movie night. Last night we showed Kiss the Ground, and Ryland Engelhart was with us. He's the founder of the organization called Kiss the Ground. It is a phenomenal movie. I invite you to go see it. It is remarkable. It is about the regeneration and the salvation, really, of the planet, and the shifting of our climate back to, away from this fast track to devastation that we've been on. So there's hope. There's not only hope, but there is a strategy. Christina says, I had a bad experience and total change of where and what I would be doing after rearranging my life for something else. I was getting too depressed and learned long ago that doing other things that are good help with the depression and counteracts hate. So sometimes good things can happen from bad. Along that line, Christina, I have found that that's really true, that oftentimes it's the biggest disruptions and upsets of our lives that set us on a meaningful path. I know about how depressing it can be by being stuck in something that you don't enjoy, and how soul crushing it can be. And I was, this is Christina still. I was already involved with the regular playground for the past 5 years or so, and we managed to raise the money to start. So the universal piece of equipment just evolved from that. I had stopped the caregiver workshop after the bad experience that was really a confidence breaker, but trying to get back up and brush off and move on with good things instead of staying in that unhealthy, wasteful space. Christina, the world welcomes you back because you are clearly a powerhouse. And I and everyone else here are grateful, I'm quite sure, that you are on the comeback trail, because we need you and your energy in the world, as we need all of us need to step into our vision, our power, our sufficiency and worthiness to be able to make the changes in the world that are so desperately needed. Welcome, welcome, Elaine. So good to have you back always. And Robert says, replying to Isabel, I can so relate to that. When I was 33 years old, I know, the powerful 33, I realized that until that age, I hadn't lived my life. So I made a commitment to start living. Yes, yes, yes. We all have the opportunity right now, even if that's our dream, to truly step into living, to really just take ownership of life and say, I get to do this, is my life. I get to do something with it. It's worth con- contributing, directing my energy and my attention to doing this thing. Like, it's like we get to choose. Maggie's picking up on my excitement. We get to choose where we place our passion, and sometimes, just finding this project that is going to give you a focus allows for a place of richer passion. And so Suzanne says, I just recently started having a vision. It's still a baby dream, but I'm thinking about how to put it in reality. Good for you, Suzanne. That's so awesome. And the thing is, you don't necessarily need to know the how. As you tune in, we talk about the inner guidance, the feeling in your gut, the scanner that we have. From that place of knowing is where inspiration can come. And as you become present to the dream, you'll be shocked at the things that the universe will present in terms of solutions or contacts or whatever. It just evolves. The clearer you are, the more the universe will align with you. And Christina says to Suzanne, excited to see what is to come. And Isabel says, I understand that now. Yes, yes. Allowing our dreams. It's just, it's so funny. I repeat this. I have repeated this to you before, but I'm all about inspiring people to take hold of their dreams and to find their purpose and passion and make it manifest. And I remember talking to a friend of mine about, what's your vision? What's your vision? And she just was like, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to think about it. And there have been other people who we have been able to source a vision and then they turn away. And it's because of that sense of, who am I to have this grand vision? It's because of insecurity. It's because of the idea that, really, really, who am I don't have the resources. I don't know how. I don't, whatever I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too whatever, all of these excuses that we create, or all of these reasons that we create to deaden ourselves, because it's the dream and the vision there's a lot of juice there. There's a lot of energy there. And I know that some of you are still looking for that thing that has juice and energy, but we'll find it. We'll find it. And it's life-changing when you do. Elaine says, yes, to live beyond fear and allow infinite possibilities from the heart to create as a whole together as one. Beautiful, Elaine. And actually, so when each of us pursues our own vision and dream, we're all doing our own thing in a certain way. And it is absolutely contributing to the whole. in the way that needs to happen. You know, thankfully there are different people who appreciate and enjoy different things and are inspired by different things. And in that, by each expressing our own individual brilliant visions, then it's the whole is elevated. And Robert says, I don't know this if I said this before here, but my uncle used to ask me all the time, what do you do for a living? And I answer now, I live for a doing. That's funny. So I'm going to challenge that, Robert, because my whole big thing in coaching my clients is to become a human being rather than a human doing. And so it's not that we have to do anything in the world to be worthy. It's not that we are the sum of our accomplishments. I don't believe that. I believe that we are worthy. I believe that we are whole. I believe that we are sufficient, and that we are each in, entitled to the life that we came here to live. And, you know, we came here to live life. And so we are each blessed with that. Okay, blessed and entitled, both. You know, that's what we came here to do. We came here to live. And by virtue of that, we are worthy. Now, beyond that, this whole thing about being and doing, I I encourage people to connect with their inner dreams, visions, heart, and soul. You know, to be present and be connected to the being, and from that beingness, the doing arises. So it's not about the doing, it's about the being. And from the being comes the inspiration that then leads us into doing. And so, yeah, so I would say, I don't know. I like the play on words, Robert, but I, again, um, am all about our connection to our beingness. And Isabel says, me too. I encourage everyone else to go after their dreams, starting my kids. Awesome. Awesome. And the thing is, the dreams are from a place of inspiration. And Robert, I love this. Let go of the how and get ready for the wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's amazing. Because it is let go of the how and get ready for the wow. When you let go of the how, again, you're making room. You're being, Maggie's digging this conversation. You're being in the place of inspiration. And Robert says, I agree. And Elaine says, my vision is to live by example and create a life of healthy body, mind, and spirit, allowing that to manifest anew in every now through the unknown. I trust my now is perfect and unfolding as I choose to live in harmony with life. I practice staying present to choose well in the now. So Tammy says, Maggie's so talkative. I think she's digging the energy for sure. And Elaine, I think so. You are embodying the human being, the beingness that I speak about. And by the embodiment of that beingness, it is creating an example. And that, Maggie, she stopped. She's having a great time to this morning, clearly. Tabby says, Maggie girl, so talkative today. She agrees with it all. I think so. I think she's getting the energy of this. And let go of the how and get ready for the wow is a quote from Karen Palmer. Thanks, Robert. Karen Palmer is awesome. What a wonderful, wonderful member of the Enlightened World Network and Sign Network. Karen is just such a light on this earth. And namaste, Isabel. And I just want to say thank you. What a great Friday. I mean, the energy is certainly elevated, right? We can tell just by Maggie's engagement today, right? That we're on a whole different vibe, whole new frequency. Pretty amazing. Lots of excitement and passion. And Irma, you said you're looking for it. And I think that maybe, you know, what I know for you, Irma, is that there is a persistent vision. And I wonder if you allow yourself to feel into that vision that you've had and to feel the energy of it and allow it to shift and change and mutate and migrate for you. You know what, Irma, you might really get some inspiration from the movie Kiss the Ground. I invite you to go watch that movie because I know that you have this vision of a flower farm, and Kiss the Ground is about regenerating the earth, and I know how deep your connection is to nature. So I think we're ready to start feeling in more deeply to support you in in your vision and taking that on. So I think it is in Netflix. Yes, it is. It is definitely on Netflix. So Kiss the Ground, and I'm gonna put in the link one more time to the chat for the Farm Aid petition. Please, please sign it and share it. And it's hope for the farmers and hope for our future to have hemp be a mainstream crop, industrial hemp. Do you know? I don't know if you know, but during World War II, people were required to grow hemp to be able to make rope, etc., for the ships and for the war effort. And it was called Hemp for Victory. There was a whole big Hemp for Victory campaign. You might also want to watch the movie Hempsters. It's kind of hard to find right now online, um, but actually it was. I don't know if it's back up or not. Rosalind says, will do. Signing hemp petition. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, all of you. So much love. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing, amazing visions and projects. And please take ownership of your dreams. Really, really. The reason who you are is the one that has that dream, and therefore it is for you to bring into the world. So, with blessings and so much love, I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection, and I go live each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page. And let's see if she'll come. Maggie says, thank you, and so much love to you. Please check out the wonderful programming on Enlightened World Network. And I hope to see you here next week.